Good morning, and welcome to Rose Red Homestead. Today we're going to be all about food security, which is one of our three main areas of focus. And we're going to can some potatoes, but we're going to greatly reduce the starch content before we put them in that canner. And I have to share with you that most of what I'm going to be showing today, I learned from some of our own subscribers, which is why we adore our community. We learn from each other. A couple of years ago, we published a video, how to use food storage potatoes, and I opened a jar of my previously canned potatoes, expressing how disappointed I was with how they turned out after one of our subscribers had followed a canning white potatoes recipe that we had put out and voiced the very same thing. Those potatoes were in a jar just like this one is, only the liquid had shrunk down to about this much, not with siphoning, but just because potatoes absorbed more of the liquid, gave off more of their starch, and all down here was just a gelatinous mass of potatoes in this very thick, soupy, starchy stuff. So we had some great suggestions from some people who had figured some things out, and so I tried it out. We did not do a video on that. I tried it out just about a year ago, and these have been on the shelf for a year, and there's all the difference in the world. The liquid is still liquidy, and granted it still has a little bit of starch, but not nearly the starch that my previous efforts did. So I have used these now for mashed potatoes, and we showed opening a jar like this in a video that we just did last month, which is the one that, and I'll link these videos so that you can get them. That video was about 3 ways how to use your food storage potatoes, and I showed how we made this one into beautiful mashed potatoes. And I can use it again for all different kinds of things. It is just great to have already cooked potatoes preserved in these jars out on our food storage. If the grid goes down and we hit some rocky times, it is great to have potatoes that have been pre-cooked so we don't have to use fuel to process them very much, just to heat them up. We could just eat them straight out of the jar. They would be fine as well. So here's what we're going to do today. I have in this bowl of water 10 pounds of potatoes. Now we're going to be following the USDA guidelines, of course. They suggest that you put some ascorbic acid in here to prevent the potatoes from browning, but these have been in this water for an hour and they have not browned at all. So I just use, if you just keep them where the air can't get to them, you're fine. So the next step here is then, and I want to tell you how I get them to this point. Potatoes are grown underground, and one of the things as safe canners, what we want to do is to ensure that we strip away as much probability of including botulism spores in our canning as we possibly can. And the USDA recommends that we never ever can vegetables, root vegetables, vegetables that have grown underground with their skins on. And so I put my potatoes out of the bag in under a stream of water, rinse them, give them a light scrub with my vegetable brush, peel them, rinse them again, and here they are. So we've eliminated those skins and we've rinsed them twice and peeled them completely. Next step is I'm going to be cutting these in about, half-inch squares. Just about the way these are. And then I'm going to be putting them right back in this water. And I'm going to do that to all of the potatoes, and then we'll be back and I'll show you what the next step is. This is 10 pounds of russet potatoes diced. At this point in time, the USDA suggests that what we do is drain off this water, and then we boil them in fresh water for 2 minutes and then take them out of that water into the jars and we can them. Now we're going to insert a step right here that helps us get rid of more starch before we get to that canning phase. Now you can notice here, especially if I stir the water up a little bit, starch is heavier and it sinks to the bottom, but you can see that the potatoes are already losing some of their starch, and this is a good thing. So my hands have been in this water a lot because I've been working with the potatoes. I'm going to drain this water, rinse the potatoes off, and then cover them again. So that's what we're going to do next. So I'm rinsing them, and now I'm going to drain them one more time. This is cold that I'm putting in. Okay, so the water is very clear. We're going to let these sit for an hour and let them lose more starch. So we'll be back after about an hour and we will check the clarity of our water. These have been soaking now for an hour. And as you see, the water is quite clear. Now my hands are clean. I'm going to just stir this around a little bit so we can really check to see how clear that water is. And I'm pretty impressed. I think it is very clear. So, looks like we've got a lot of the starch out. Now, this isn't always the case with potatoes. I've canned batches where after this first soaking of the chunks, the water is all cloudy again. So I will just empty that, rinse them off, cover it with water, and then give them another hour to soak. So I know some people have put them in the refrigerator to soak overnight. I have not found that to be necessary. The way I've done it is just in 1 hour increments until the water is clear. So now we can proceed with what the USDA tells us, and I'm going to put their recipe below our video so that you can have that as well. So we are draining this water, and we are going to put the potatoes in my favorite kitchen pot, my Maslin pan, or my jam pan as I call it. So they're going in here. And this has a little scale so that we can estimate about how many quarts we're going to have. So this says about 5 quarts. So I was estimating between 4 and 5 quarts with 10 pounds of potatoes. If it's 4 quarts, we will be pressure canning in our Nesco canner. If it is 5 quarts, we will be going outside. So it looks like we're going to go outside and use our Presto stovetop canner out there, but we'll see for sure. So the next thing is we're going to cover these potatoes with water. Once again, clean water. And we are going to bring the potatoes to a boil and then boil them for 2 minutes. Now, that water will most likely become a little bit more starchy once we add heat to it and boil. But we've got to get those potatoes boiling hot before we put them in the jars. This is a hot pack recipe, meaning the food needs to be hot. But we will be lifting the potatoes out of this boiling water, leaving that water behind, putting them in the jars, and then I have 2 kettles over here filled with water so that we can have nice hot, fresh boiling water to cover them with once we get them in the pot. So here we go with turning the heat on. So this will take a few minutes. It will take a few minutes to heat everything up to a boiling and then boil for 2 minutes. So we'll be back for the next step after that has happened. Our potatoes are now boiling hot. It took about 25 minutes to get them up to boiling and boil for 2 minutes. So they are hot, hot, hot. And as I clear the foam away, you can see that the water is really fairly clear. So I'm very comfortable that these are ready to be canned, that we got as much starch out as we could. So let's start that process now. So I'm just going to reach in here and get these potatoes and fill the jars. And we will be leaving 1 inch of headspace. And all of the potatoes will need to be covered with the boiling water, so I want to be sure that we leave that adequate headspace. Now, just take a look at these potatoes. If you are new to canning, you will find many websites and people advocate canning potatoes just like this without putting any liquid in that. Don't do that. It is not safe. People disregard the safety recommendations of the USDA and do it this way because to them, they say it tastes just wonderful. Well, that's fine. You're increasing the probabilities of other things happening that may be pretty disastrous to your family. water or liquid is needed in canning in order for proper heat transfer to take place. I explain all that in more detail, and I'll put a little card up here that says the science behind dry canning potatoes. With that title, many people thought that I was advocating for dry canning potatoes, but absolutely not. I explain the difference between what happens inside a jar if you don't put liquid in to what happens when you do, and why it's much safer. So you might want to check out that video. So we'll be back when I have our jars filled. So this is the water. And you can see that more starch did actually boil out, which is great. And we left it right in the pan. There are just a couple more pieces of potato. So what we got here was 5 quarts plus 1 pint. We will be processing both sizes of jars in my Presto stovetop canner that is our outside canner. Now, the USDA processing time is 40 minutes. I think it's 35 minutes for pints, but this pint is in with all these quarts, and you always, if you do mixed sizes in jars, select the processing time for the largest jar. So this one will be processed right along with the quarts at the quart time. So next is to put the water in. Now this is fresh boiling water. I could add salt. A lot of people do. I generally can without salt. And then I add it when at the table, or when I'm using it like with mashed potatoes or whatever like that. I'm releasing any air bubbles. I'll start out here. Ideally, we want everything covered with water. Wow, I released a big air bubble, and that made a difference, so we'll be putting more water there. Now we're wiping rims, and this is just a paper towel with water. We don't need vinegar because there was nothing in this canning batch that was greasy. And lids. Finger tight, which just means you tighten it with your fingers. Don't get your arm or your wrist involved, just your fingers. So here we are with 5.5 quarts of potatoes that we're going to take outside to put in the canner, so I will meet you out there. Last one going in. So I am putting the lid on. There we go. Locking it in place. We never put the weight on yet. I'm just going to park it right there for a minute and just explain to you what happens next. I'm turning the heat up. It was simmering at about 180 degrees, so now I'm turning it up. That is going to increase the temperature on the inside, obviously, and that water is going to turn to steam. The steam is going to push out all of the air as it escapes from this vent. So once the steam starts really coming out of this vent at a good clip, then we will time that, it's called venting, for 10 minutes. After that time, we will take the weight and put it right back on that vent. And then once this dial, I have a dial canner, and once it gets up to 13, between 13 and 15, for our elevation at 5,000 feet, we need to can at 13 psi, pounds per square inch. So then once we get there and hold it between 13 and 15, the timing is 40 minutes. So after it's been at pressure for 40 minutes, we turn the heat off completely, wait for the canner to cool down completely, and we will bring you back when we are pulling these out of the canner. So we'll see you then. Well, here we are. It has finished, completely dropped to 0 pressure, and we'll just do a quick little test here. Yep, nothing there. And it's been sitting probably for about 5 minutes after it has dropped all the way. So let's open the lid and see what they look like. Look how beautiful these are. The liquid is clear. It looks like we've had some siphoning. I can't really tell. The water looks very clear.
I like to smell it all the way over here.
Yeah, I can smell them too.
Almost smells like popcorn.
So the water on all of them is about here, and it just may be that the potatoes absorbed some of that water. 'Cause I don't see any issue with the water in the canner. Seems very clear. And the water in here is very clear too. So let's get these in the house and we'll take a better look at them. Well, here we have them. They really are beautiful. Now here is the one that has been on our shelf for a year. The water level is about right here, the same as it is in most of these. So, and I really could not see any evidence of siphoning out there at all. The water was as clear as could be. But who knows? There's plenty of liquid in there, so I'm not at all concerned about it. The USDA says as long as there is half or more of the jar level of liquid, the food inside is just fine. So after a year, these will probably look more like this as well. And we will go through these so that they're not sitting out there on the shelf more than about a year. You know, some foods can last 5, 6, 7 years in our experience, even though what most sources say, oh, there just went one, popping, is that they last for 12 to 18 months. And probably food value is best during that time frame. But Jim, do you remember when we found that little jar of canned hamburger that was 11 years old? It was when we lived in this house, yeah. And we opened it up and it was just fine. It tasted just fine. Now, that we don't recommend that at all. So we'd like
That's
to...
when we kind of got lost in the shuffle.
I know, in our moving, probably. There went another one. Yay, they're sealing just great. In any case, this will be a great addition to our food storage, and we will be rotating through these easily within a year. I think this is about the last one of the other batch that I have left, so it's about time we put a few more in there. So I hope that this was useful for you, and that when you give potatoes a try, that you will be able to reduce the starch content by using the strategies that we showed right here. So thank you so much for being with us, and we will see you very soon for more videos.